Hello, everyone. My name's Marie, and this is Jacob, and we're from Raidiam. We're the pioneering world leader in consent-driven data sharing ecosystems. Our entry is solving a known problem for the Isle of Man, which is providing easy access to government services for new settlers on the Isle of Man. In doing so, providing government with visibility of migration to and from, and the impact this has on society, economy, biosphere, which can be used for informed planning and for actions. Should remember to do the slides. So imagine a modernised, digitally inclusive Isle of Man, which is efficiently and intelligently meeting your needs and those of the built and natural environment, helping you to easily find and benefit from government services with little to no paperwork or hassle, which sounds great, doesn't it? So, for example, finding health practices with capacity and automatically enrolling you, or easier onboarding of new members of staff, auto-filling work permits and adding them to PAYE. There are many beneficial use cases acting on data that you supply just once on arrival, which the government uses to drive the economy and your engagement with and connection to the island's opportunities.
Now, to achieve this, there are some fundamental issues to resolve, because setting up on the island currently involves filling in up to 23 forms. It's a very manual process. Now, some of these are digital, some are paper-based, and they're all in different places. It's not paperless by default. And that's assuming, of course, that settlers provide the data to you in the first instance. That data then needs to get to 8 different government departments. So keeping track of settlers as they join or go from the island is a genuine challenge and headache. And this is the focus of our challenge entry. Now, collectively, over a year of settlers' time is spent filling in these forms. There's economic and environmental cost to this too, because you're having to print out the forms, scan the forms, key the forms, send them back, and then securely dispose of paper forms. But there are hidden costs, because your forecasting isn't as accurate or as effective as it could be. You can't understand the economic contribution of a settler. And this will only get worse with the island's population growth targets. But before tackling the process problem, we need to talk about the idea of trust. Government needs to trust in the data, in its accuracy, that it's transported safely with consent, and that it's consistent across government departments and systems. Now, we know this because we co-wrote the main standards for secure data sharing that are in global use. But there's another form of trust because settlers need to trust you themselves, as Mike was saying. And here, trust is gained through appropriate and beneficial use of their data. Now, as Sue noted this morning, one of the challenges about AI is the quality of the data that goes into the models. That's itself absolutely crucial. Now, successful innovators often achieve that success because they look beneath the surface. They resolve the difficult and thorny problems. And in the same vein, this is how we've approached the challenge. We've solved the problem of capturing settlers' data by providing a scalable infrastructure that will be a foundational element of the island's digital framework. It directly helps with some of the interdisciplinary challenges of working and living in a biosphere. Now, we propose for the challenge a standards-based, paperless government solution that simplifies the acquisition and use of that available settlers' data, because it enables that data to be shared securely and with multiple parties.
So let's take a deeper look at what this technology is and how it works. Without realizing it, you're already using examples of this type of trust framework technology. Credit cards provide merchants with a surety that they are going to be paid. Banking in the UK now allows you to give apps secure access to your data in order to aggregate your accounts so you can see a whole self view of your finances. Or lenders have the ability to understand the risk of lending to you and what that poses and reach out to you with credit. That's called open banking, and our technology is powering that already. The value proposition is clear. If trust is not assured, I say it again, The value proposition is clear and trust is not being asked for. So going back to Mike's point, trust in this situation is technically assured. And when access to reliable data is solved, better products and services are unlocked. A trust framework is essentially a governance, security, and access management layer. It sets the rules, permissions, roles, and responsibilities for secure data sharing so that that is always done appropriately and in the best interests of the person the data actually belongs to. A directory of participants enables data discovery, and public key infrastructure provides absolute certainty that data is only shared with authenticated and authorized parties and with proven consent. Settlers can trust that the efficient and privacy-protecting data sharing this will enable, knowing that this is going to improve island life and make it more rewarding. And government will gain actionable data insights, which can be relied upon for planning and innovation. Trust framework technology is becoming the gold standard for data sharing around the world. And unlike other approaches, no data goes through it or sits on this technology, making it incredibly resilient, interoperable, and scalable. At the beginning of the data flow, Island of Man settlers are encouraged to submit their details on a welcome app, and this data is then stored in a central government data repository, which is private and secure. At the other end, the government departments have access to this through links to the data that they need to receive and the technical keys they need to unlock it. Each government department can then simply request and receive the data that they need to receive directly and instantly from the data repository. And we can deliver a proof of concept in this in just 3 to 6 months.
Now, by solving the underlying challenge of how to technically establish trust and ensure secure data sharing between parties, you're actually building in future optionality, because the government will be able to bring new services into scope of the framework with a simple configuration change. And you can add other parties to it, so businesses or retailers, they can join with a quick and safe connection. And provided they've got customer consent, they can then use data from a trusted government source to improve their own processes, products and services. So by making that data securely accessible to a wider group of trusted collaborators, you can unlock even more valuable use cases and support future innovation. So back to the original challenge and the original problem. Once you've assured trust, with that trust assured, the data capture becomes much simpler to resolve. You can build a digital solution with privacy by design that ensures consent. Now, as Marie said, our technology and innovation is based on public key infrastructure, which is impossible to demonstrate in 10 minutes. So instead, what we've done is mocked up an example of what could be the digital island or concierge to capture that data, to show you the kind of app that you could build on top of this. And if you scan the QR code, you can go and play with the demo. And Manx Dev, one of the other challenge entrants that we spoke to, has an optical character recognition solution, and that could easily fit on top of this to simplify data access again. Now, data itself is captured once, and it's then mapped to each department's data feed. Now, over and above removing the tedium of filling in up to 23 forms, you could also drive user take-up and adoption and promote island businesses to new settlers with something like a voucher scheme. Those vouchers or discounts are only unlocked with the digital ID from this system. And the same thing could work in reverse, unlocking discounts on services that settlers need when they leave the island to encourage exit notification.
1 minute.
Digital trust of people, services and government is one of the key objectives in the Digital Isle of Man strategy. Having a digital interface with reliable data movement is a huge step beyond the existing starting point, a technical headache of lots of forms and no engagement. We truly believe our response to the innovation challenge can solve today's settler problem, which you've already identified, and engage them better, enable your digital island strategy to leap forward, and give you a foundation to become the world's first truly connected government, providing accurate, consistent data into the impact of island life and engaging people to be part of the society. We are proven. Our technology powers similar cutting-edge initiatives for nations around the world. We're trusted. We help government and industry working groups, and we teach global regulators about
10
data
seconds.
empowerment.
So greater access to accurate data will help you to safeguard the island's people and the environment for future generations. Thank you.